Hey, family. Woo! I want to show you something. Boy, these you're not gonna tell me these aren't Satan's children. I'm listen to this. I'm not gonna be here long. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and I'm out. I just want to show you this because I'll be back later. But listen to this. Listen to Becky here. Listen to Karen's sister, her daughter. Listen.
Control of the most intelligent, powerful species on the planet would be to completely divide them from the love within themselves. As soon as they are old enough to begin creating an understanding of who they are, force them into a system that teaches them that it is wrong to be yourself if yourself is different from what is accepted as normal. Confuse them about their own biological makeup so that they think that permanently altering their body is the answer to happiness. Require their daily attendance at an institution that makes them focus only on the information that is provided. Make them attend that institution from age 5 until an adult and repeatedly test them on the information so that it becomes their truth. Give them an explanation to everything so that they never have a chance to make their own assumptions of the world. Scold them and humiliate them if they suggest an opinion that opposes that of their authorities. Keep reminding them of how cruel their ancestors were to each other in the past and broadcast how cruel they are to each other in the present. Only show them tragedies on the news so that they live in fear and think the worst of one another. Convince them that their species used to be that of an incognizant wild animal. Make them think that their very existence is so incredibly random that they lack purpose and struggle to make sense of a creator. Tell them that their kind is as smart as they've ever been so that they don't question the integrity of the system that they're in. Provide them idols with artificial beauty and use them as examples of what it is to look perfect so that they are never content with their own appearance and can't help but to compare themselves amongst each other. Create addictive digital platforms that rank them by numbers so that they base their self-worth off of the amount of followers that they have and are never satisfied. Build a society around them in which those who have money benefit and those who don't fail. Make money their main focus, but make it so difficult to accumulate that they remain in a place of constant struggle, forced to dedicate the majority of their time to the system that made it this way. Tax them in every way possible, but tell them that it's for their own benefit so that they don't think twice about paying it. Take so much of their time and energy throughout the week, but give them 2 days to themselves so that they feel a sense of reward and don't fight back. Promote the consumption of poison in every social setting so that even on those 2 days, they remain disconnected from themselves and each other. Pump their food with excess sugars and addictive chemicals, but make it cheap, advertised, and easily accessible so that they never stop consuming. When their food makes them ill, prescribe them medication that only masks the symptoms so that they become dependent on it every day. Charge them so much money for healthcare so that they stay in a constant loop of consuming, medicating, and working. Cause chaos amongst them and blame it on a group of their own so that they form judgmental stereotypes. Turn them against each other in so many ways so that even if they were to connect on one, they would still be divided by another. The best way to gain control of the most intelligent, powerful species on the planet would be to completely divide them from the love within themselves. As soon as they are old enough to begin creating an understanding of who they are, force them into a system that teaches them that it is wrong to be yourself if yourself is different from what is accepted as normal. Confuse them about their own.
Okay, hold on. Do we hear this? Are we hey Ra, grandma, hey you guys. Are we understanding now? I'm trying to get us to understand that these people, they're thinking we have been allowing ourselves to be caught up in their system for way too long. We have been thinking the way they have taught us to think. And then we turn around and blame us for what we see. It's a system. Does anybody understand that? I have a TikTok page, Hard Truths. I want y'all to go on my TikTok page, y'all. Hard Truths, HARDTRUTZ 12. And I want you to some of my stuff because I talk about loving us, and because I don't agree with anything that they say, they want to call you racist. But you calling out their bad behavior. But yet they'll look at you and point the finger at you because you calling out them on their BS, right? So we have to understand the system, just like that thank you letter I read. Okay, the thank you letter. I'm just gonna show it for a minute, just a little bit. I'm gonna keep showing you guys this because the way these people think is crazy. Man, I'm telling you, y'all help me out here. This is crazy. I'm going to try to share my screen because I just want to read a little bit. I want to read a little bit of my thank you letter, just a little bit of it. And then I'm trying to get us to understand. I'm trying to get us to change this, to help us to understand that everything that you see. And even in Africa, they want you to believe, they want them to believe that it's their fault. They put them in the bind, but then point the fingers at Africa. And a lot of white folk on my page will say, well, look at Africa. I'm like, well, yeah, look at them. If America and the Brits and France would stay out of their countries and leave black folk alone, they would be fine. Africa would be fine. Leave them alone. But I want to show you. Let me just read a little bit of my thank you letter, and I'm done. I'm not going to be on here long because I got to come back later. But I want y'all to see this. Come on, family. Come on, family. Come on. Can y'all see that? I hope y'all can, because I'm going to read a little bit of it. I'm telling you, these crackers up here, I'm so sick of them. I don't know what to do. Because every time you look up, they won't make you feel that what you know to be true is not true. Or what you know to be true because you watching them. It's crazy. Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to see if I'm on there. I want to make sure. Listen to this. Okay, listen to this, family. Thank you to black people from all other Americans. Yes, I'm going to keep reading this because I want y'all to understand what we up against. Listen to this. After all of these years and all we have been through, we think it's appropriate for us to show our gratitude for all you have done for us. We have chastised you, criticized you, punished you, and in some cases even apologized to you. But we have never formally nor publicly thanked you for your ending allegiance and support to our cause. Listen, this is our open letter to thank you, to thank a unique people for hold on. This is our open letter of thanks to a unique people, a forgiving people, a steadfast people, and a brave people, Black Americans. We will always be in your debt to you for your labors. You built this country, and you're responsible for the great wealth we still enjoy today. Listen, upon your backs, we laden with the stripes. We sometimes had to apply for disciplinary reasons, acting like we children. Boy, you cannot. You carried our nations. We thank you for that. Listen, we thank you for your diligence and tenacity, even when we refuse to allow you to even walk in our shadows. You followed close behind, believing that someday we would come to accept you, and they never will, family. We still waiting on them to accept us and treat you like men and women. You strengthen in the face of adversity, cannot be understated. You have truly a great people, and we thank you so much. I'm reading it as it is in the thing, so if it sounds a little crazy, I'm reading it as it should. And I, probably should have went in there and wrote, but whatever. Listen, we publicly now acknowledge Black people for raising our children. Listen, attending to our sick and preparing our meals while we were occupied with the trappings of the good life. Even during the times when we found pleasure in your women and enjoyment in seeing one of your men lynched, maimed, burned, some of you continue to watch over us and our belongings. We simply cannot thank you enough. Listen to this. Your bravery on the battlefield, despite being classified as 3/5 of a man, and we still sending our children to their armies, their services to be killed, was and still is outstanding and beyond the call of duty. We often watched in awe as you went about your prescribed chores and assignments, sometimes laboring in the hot sun for 12 hours to assist us in realizing our dreams and wealth and good fortune. We were always there. You were always there, and we thank you. Now that we control at least 90% of all of the resources and wealth of this nation, we have Black people to thank for that the most. We were there when it all began, and you are still with us today, protecting us from those Black people, listen, who have the tenacity to speak out against our past transgressions, meaning me. When we see Black folk like coons that's sitting up there fighting us for them, that's what they're talking about. However, how can we thank you for your dedication You warned us about Denmark, Versi. You let us know about Gabriel Prosser's plans. You called our attention to Nat Turner, and you even sounded the alarm when old John Brown came calling on Harper's Ferry. Some of you still warn us even today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bakari, welcome. Like as y'all come in. Listen to this. Listen to this. Now, as we look out upon our enormous wealth, and as we assess our tremendous control of the resources in this country, we can only think of the sacrifices you and your family made to make all of this possible. We are indeed fantastic. You are indeed fantastic, and we will forever be in your debt. To thank you, to think of you, to think of how you have looked out for us for hundreds of years, and to see you still doing the same thing today is simply amazing. Listen, thank you for continuing to bring 95% of your earnings to our businesses. This is so gracious of you. Thanks for buying Health Hilfigers, Karans, Nikes, and all of the other brands you so adore. Your purchase of those products really makes us feel that we are at least giving something back to you for your patronage. Listen to this. After all, in the past, the brands we put on you were quite painful, but the brands of today can be proudly worn because they give you a sense of self-esteem, right? But it's the least we can do for a people who have treated us so well. Listen to this, y'all. Come on now. Your super rich athletes, entertainers, intellectuals, and business persons, both legal and illegal, exchange most of their money for our cars, our jewelry, our homes, and our clothing. What a windfall they have provided for us. The less fortunate among you spend all they have at our neighborhood stores, enabling us to open even more stores. Come on. Sure, they complain about what they never do. Wait a minute. Sure, they complain, but they never do anything to hurt us economically. Do we? I mean, is they lying? Come on, you guys. You are very special friends. You are very special people. Thank you. Oh, yes. Allow us to thank you for not bogging yourselves down with the business of doing business with your own people. We can take care of that for you. Please don't trouble yourself with that. Yes, we were very successful at it after slavery ended, and even as recently as 1960. But you know what happened when you began to build your own communities and do business with one another? Some of the lower ones of your kind burned you out. Boy, you know what? This is so disgusting, but this is a letter they're thanking you. But let's listen. Some of the lower ones of your kind burned you out time and time again. So why bother? In today's business environment, your own people will not supply or support you anyway. You just keep doing business with us. It's safer that way. Besides, everything you need, we make anyway. Really? Listen, even kente cloth, you just continue to dance and sing and fight and get high and go to prison and backbite and envy and distrust and hate one another. Have yourselves a good time, and this time will take care of you. It's the least we can do, considering all you've done for us. Heck, you deserve it, Black people. For your labor, which created our wealth, for your resisting the message of troubling, making of trouble. Wait a minute. It says for your resisting the messages of trouble making Blacks like Washington, Delaney, Garvey, Bethune, Tubman, and Truth for fighting and dying on our battlefields. We thank you for caring for our families, for abandoning your own businesses and businesses organizations, we deeply thank you for allowing us to move into your neighborhoods and for your patrons of our businesses. We will forever be grateful to you for your unceasing desires to be near us and for hardly ever following through on your threats due to our lacks of reciprocity and equality. We thank you so much. Listen, we also, oh Lord, we also appreciate your acquaintances to our political agendas for abdicating your own economic self-sufficiency and for working so diligent for the economic well-being of our people. You are real troopers. And even though the 12th, 13th, and 14th, the 12th, 14th, and 15th Amendment were written for you, many of your relatives having died for the rights described therein, you did not resist when we changed those black rights to civil rights and allowed virtually every other group except you to take advantage of them as well. Black people, you are something else. Listen, we ain't done, almost done. Your dependency upon us to do the right thing is beyond our imagination in respect to what we do to you and the many promises we have made and broken. Listen, but this time we will make it right. We promise. Trust us. Come on. Tell you what, you don't need your own hotels. You can continue to stay in ours. You have no need for supermarkets when you can shop in ours 24 hours a day. Why should you even think about owning more banks? You have plenty now. And don't waste your energies trying to break into manufacturing. You've worked hard enough in ours. Relax, have a party. We'll sell you everything you need. And when you die, we'll even bury you at a discount. Now, how's that for gratitude? Almost done. Finally, the best part, and we are appreciative, you went beyond the pale and turned your children to us for their education. With what we have done and taught them, it's likely they will continue in a mode similar to the one you have followed for the past several years. It says 45 years, but it's past that. When Mr. Lynch walked the banks of the river, James River in 1712 and said he would make us a slave for 300, he meant it's 500 years, family, not 300 years. It's been 200 past that, okay? Little did we realize the truth in this prediction. Just 13 more years, okay, and his promise will come to fruition. But with 2 generations of you, and it's probably 4 generations of your children having gone through our educational system, we can look to at least another 50, 100, 200 years of prosperity. Wow, things could not be better. And it's all because of you. For that and for all you have done, we thank you. From the bottom of our hearts, Black Americans, you're the best friends any group of people could ever have. Sincerely, all other Americans. So what we think about that? What we think about that? I'm coming back. What we think about that? Top in, welcome. St. Thomas, welcome. Who wrote that? Who wrote that? All other Americans to the Black Americans. They wrote that to you. All other Americans, that's what it said. Wrote that to Black Americans. They are thanking you for not opening up your own schools. They're thanking you because you know how that Black guy said this. Hold on, I'm not done. Hold on, we're gonna get into this today. I want y'all to see something. I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see this. This is ridiculous. But guess what? We don't change nothing. We continue to fight them, don't we? We continue to act just like nothing's wrong. Everything is good, right? I'm going to show y'all something. This is ridiculous right here. I'm gonna find it. Hold on, you guys. Y'all bear with me because I'm trying to get it. Hold on. Because this one here is talking about the black guy who talked about the woman who was having the baby, right? And she went to their hospitals. Now we already know what's going on in their hospitals, right? We already know what we're supposed to do, but I want y'all to hear this. I'm gonna play it. Hold on. Let me try to turn it around. Hold on. Y'all help me here. Y'all bear with me here.
Good morning. I beg you, please share this video. I really don't care about the numbers. But for black people, for black women, I need you to hear this if you don't hear nothing else in your damn life. Sister, if you are giving birth to a child, if you plan on giving birth to a child, I need you to listen to me. Sisters, I need you to listen to me like you ain't listened to a black man before. Don't you take your ass to a hospital that you done asked 1,000 questions before you stepped your ass in there. Do you hear me, sister? I worked in the ICU the other night. I'm normally a trauma medic in the emergency room, but I picked up a shift in the ICU. And we immediately got a sister in there who had an emergency C-section, and she had internal bleeding, hemorrhaging. Now the baby was taken out, and the sister was brought up to the ICU in critical care, critical condition. We could not figure out where she was bleeding from, and we were trying to keep this sister alive. I turned to the doctor at some point, doctor that does not look like us, and I say, doctor, can you come take a look at her stomach? It's getting really distended. And her BP, her blood pressure is not going down. That doctor looked at me and said, that's my patient. I'll be over there in a minute. 2 hours later, after this sister coded on that table 2 times and we had to get her back, we finally get her down to the operating room. And yeah, that hemorrhage that they thought they controlled with that emergency C-section was not controlled. She was still having internal bleeding, which was killing her.
They don't care.
Black people, I need you to hear me. If you can take your black ass to Target, if you can go to Walmart, if you can buy and spend and do for all these corporations that don't give a damn about you, your black ass, your black community, your black race, you can ask questions for that black baby. I don't care if you think you're annoying, the doctor think you're annoying, the hospital think you're annoying. I don't care if God himself think you're annoying from asking too many questions. Ask the question, sister. Because there's going to be a certain point in that pregnancy where you ain't going to have the ability to ask not a damn thing, sister. It's going to be out of your hands.
This is why.
So while it's in your hands, sister, I'm going to need you to take control of that pregnancy. Black men, don't you let that woman go into that hospital and you don't know every inch of that building. You need to know if something goes wrong, who is going to put their hands on your woman, on your child.
We need our own.
And other black people, if you work in a hospital, speak up. Please. Say something. Shit.
They won't say nothing. You know that. We're not going to say nothing. We're going to see this, and we're going to just keep on doing what we've been doing. They just thanked you for not building your own. They just thanked you for allowing them to educate your children and brainwashing your children. And you look at your children, you say, what the hell is wrong with our kids? This is disgusting. And I'm so tired of it. We know we need our own clinics. They killing our babies and they killing the mamas. And y'all do nothing about it. Because it's not me. I'm done having babies. But what about your granddaughters? What about your children's children that's coming? We have doctors and nurses that are in black communities. They rather take abuse from these white folk in their hospitals, in their establishments, instead of you building your own clinics, your own hospitals. Start small with 15 rooms. Doctors, lawyers, nurses, put your finances together and create your own clinics. Start small. We can have birthing clinics right in our black communities, neighborhoods, okay? Where we know black folk gonna come. We can have our own clinics right there. You don't have to go to their establishments, but we won't even come together to do that. You would rather stay in their facilities and establishments and take that abuse every day. You know what they're doing to your children, but you would rather stay in their establishments. They won't even let me bring the black men into the schools on purpose. Why would they? They don't want them black men up in there being bothered. They don't want them in there around their own children. They don't want them in there stopping all of this abuse that's going on in those schools. They don't want them to recreate they want the libraries. Remember, okay, let's talk about the libraries that's coming in these schools. They're taking out the libraries and they put detention centers in there. So you wonder why they don't want our black men in there? Because they're going to stop that behavior of them unruly children. They know that. They know the presence of a man. They know the presence of a black man. They know that. We know that. We should. But do we care? You got some people too busy trying to call the ones like myself racist. Because I love my own. You can call me whatever you want to. Them white folks don't move me. I don't give a damn what they think. But I'm going to shout it to the rooftop until we get it. I'm going to keep doing shows like until we get it. Until we get tired. Until we get tired of what we've been going through on their jobs, in their schools. And now our babies who can't help it, can't help themselves. That woman couldn't help herself. And I guarantee you with no man there. I guarantee you with no man. She was having his baby by herself and couldn't even fight for herself or her baby. Thank God that black man was there to speak up. Because it'd have been how many other you mean he's the only black man, he's the only black worker there that saw what was going on and cared enough to say something. And then the doctor took 2 hours after the black man told him, hey, we got an issue over here. He said, that's my patient. In other words, shut the hell up. I got this. Did they hold him accountable? Probably not. Because he covered it up. Or because they work together. He ain't got to cover it up. They work together. They know what they're doing. They all on code. They're on code. Only ones who's not on code is us. You didn't see the first one I wrote, did you? Let me show you the first one. I want to show you the first one. I want to show you the first one. I'm going to try to go on here. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to show you this one. Y'all may have to just pull it up later. Hold on, I may not be able to get it. Hold on, let me see if I can get it. My phone be acting crazy sometime, I swear. Sometimes that ain't gonna do what it's supposed to do. I might not be able to get it here. I think I got to show it with me on there again. I'll be wanting to try not to show my face, but I guess I have to because I want you guys to see this one. This is another with the white girl on there. Hold on.
As soon as they are old enough to begin creating, the best way to gain control of the most intelligent, powerful species on the planet would be to completely divide them from the love within themselves. As soon as they are old enough to begin creating an understanding of who they are, force them into a system that teaches them that it is wrong to be yourself if yourself is different from what is accepted as normal. Confuse them about their own biological makeup so that they think that permanently altering their body is the answer to happiness. Require their daily attendance at an institution that makes them focus only on the information that is provided. Make them attend that institution from age 5 until an adult and repeatedly test them on the information so that it becomes their truth. Give them an explanation to everything so that they never have a chance to make their own assumptions of the world. Scold them and humiliate them if they suggest an opinion that opposes that of their authorities. Keep reminding them of how cruel their ancestors were to each other in the past and broadcast how cruel they are to each other in the present. Only show them tragedies on the news so that they live in fear and think the worst of one another. Convince them that their species used to be that of an incognizant wild animal. Make them think that their very existence is so incredibly random that they lack purpose and struggle to make sense of a creator. Tell them that their kind is as smart as they've ever been so that they don't question the integrity of the system that they're in. Provide them idols with artificial beauty and use them as examples of what it is to look perfect so that they are never content with their own appearance and can't help but to compare themselves amongst each other. Create addictive digital platforms that rank them by numbers so that they base their self-worth off of the amount of followers that they have and are never satisfied. Build a society around them in which those who have money benefit and those who don't fail. Make money their main focus, but make it so difficult to accumulate that they remain in a place of constant struggle, forced to dedicate the majority of their time to the system that made it this way. Tax them in every way possible, but tell them that it's for their own benefit so that they don't think twice about paying it. Take so much of their time and energy throughout the week, but give them 2 days to themselves so that they feel a sense of reward and don't fight back. Promote the consumption of poison in every social setting so that even on those 2 days, they remain disconnected from themselves and each other. Pump their food with excess sugars and addictive chemicals, but make it cheap, advertised, and easily accessible so that they never stop consuming. When their food makes them ill, prescribe them medication that only masks the symptoms so that they become dependent on it every day. Charge them so much money for healthcare so that they stay in a constant loop of consuming, medicating, and working. Cause chaos amongst them and blame it on a group of their own so that they form judgmental stereotypes. Turn them against each other in so many ways so that even if they were to connect on one, they would still be divided by another. The best way to gain control of the most intelligent.
Aren't they doing that today? Aren't they doing that today? The thank you letter it's called thank you, a thank you letter to Black people from all Americans. That's the thank you letter. What she's reading, I don't know the name of what she was reading. I was trying to get a copy of what she was reading, but I couldn't pull it up. So I'll find it later, but I couldn't pull it up, that what she was reading. I couldn't pull it up. But no, this stuff is true. This stuff is true. Doesn't it sound like something today that's going on right now? Don't it sound like what we're going through now? I'm just saying. They'll tell you the Willie Lynch letter was fake. Have you read it? You got Black folk telling me Willie Lynch letter was fake. Willie Lynch was fake. It doesn't matter if it's fake or not. Look around you. Obviously, it wasn't. It's the same. They're telling you what and how they've gotten you to think the way we think. They've gotten you to think the way they want us to think. We think exactly what they're reading, what that sister was reading. We think the same way. Then they want to make you feel bad because you're thinking different. Then they want to call you out because you're thinking different. And then all these Black folk that'll call you out too because they got them thinking the same way, and they point fingers at them when they think different. I seen this is really weird. I seen where this was it was a slavery thing, right? And all the slave master came out and said, "Hey," and I'm gonna try to find it. I can't find it. The slave master said, "Hey, I'm gonna put you guys in an investment with me. What I need y'all to do, I need y'all to work this farm, and everybody gonna get a piece of the pie, right?" Listen. So they was working and they was working and they was working. And one slave was looking around and he said, "Something's not right here." Everybody was on the same page, but when it was time to pay them, he would come up with an excuse, right? So the one slave was talking to the other slave, "Hey, something's wrong here." Blah, blah, blah. He was trying to, share what he was thinking with the other slave. And do you not know that slave turned against him and started talking to master and had everybody believing what master was saying? Man, that thing was so powerful. I cannot find it, but I'm not even explaining it the way that they was trying to explain it because there's so much more to it. But what ended up happening was everybody was pointing fingers. Even the master was pointing fingers at that one slave that was thinking different. And do you not know? They said, "Who agrees with us taking care of this one slave that is thinking of going against the masses," right? All those other slaves went against that one slave that was thinking different, but he was seeing what the master was doing. He was seeing through the BS. And everybody else was falling behind white man, right? Like we do today. But that one slave, they ended up killing the one slave that was thinking different. I'm just saying, that was just, I need to find it. I need to find that whole story so that I can read it to you guys, because this right here, right now, we're in trouble. Because they got us on this, and they look and they be like, "God, man, this 400, 500 years, and they still on that same roller coaster. They still on that rat thing. What's that, the wheel? They still on the wheel." I'm done. I just wanted to come to you guys for a few minutes. I'm coming back, I think, at 8 o'clock tonight, just so I could think of, talk about some things. But I just wanted to come on for a minute. Just wanted to bring this to y'all attention. But I'm coming back. But I'm telling you, I don't like what I'm seeing. But the sad part is, we're not changing it. We're not changing it. We're not changing it. I'm looking at the prison system. I'm dealing with a lot more felons, right? And I'm looking at the prison system and I'm going, man, these dudes come out and they still got them. They still hold them captive. They still holding them captive. But we're going to talk about the black man and how they face discrimination today in this society. We're coming back at 8 o'clock tonight. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. But I'm done, family. I'm done. The second letter, I don't know the name of the second letter that she was writing, but I'll try to find out. I'll put it in the chat so you can, if you go on my YouTube, my TikTok, you'll see it. It's under Hard Truths, HARDTRUTZ12. TikTok, I don't know if you have TikTok or not, but that's my TikTok page. But I'm telling you, if you go on that, you'll see it. But if you go on TikTok, you can, it's CRISTOBALCAMINERO under her name. Christy is Christo Black something. I'll put it in the chats, but yeah, that's how I came across it. And I was like, what in the world is this? After I was like, what is she reading? That thing is, I'm telling you, y'all, we don't even get it. We don't even understand how deep this rabbit hole goes. But everything we're doing, we've been like sheep. They've led you to think the way they want you to think. We act the way they want us to act. And we think we woke. We think we doing it because we thought of it. No. We stuck in the Matrix. That movie Matrix, we stuck in the Matrix. It's only a few that come out. And the ones that do try to come out, the other ones will go against them. Oh, just that on purpose. Remember when Grandmaster NFAC was trying to wake us up and trying to get us to do for self and fight for self, and how many people was calling him agents and nobody had proof. Nobody had proof. I was watching him every day, every night. He was on, live. I watched the lives and I was understanding, who is this brother? I was nosy. I was trying to be nosy. I was trying to see who this brother was. So when people was lying, I'm like, y'all lying. He was a president candidate. He wasn't on Trump's nothing. Somebody said, oh, he's on Trump's security team. He wasn't. He was running for president, dummy. Y'all didn't spend no time. Y'all didn't listen to what the man was saying. He was trying to free black man. He talked about the black population and how we got the way we were and how we got here. Man, y'all didn't hear nothing. Y'all was so busy trying to run y'all mouth, tearing your own down for white folk. Well, y'all, man, I tell you, we're done. We better get it together real quick. Real quick. Y'all watching Africa? Y'all watching Africa? Y'all got something to say about that too, don't y'all? I ain't African. You a dummy. You a lie. You are. You came from, somebody of yours came from over there. And I'm not saying everybody, but most of y'all from Africa. Your great, somebody's came from there. So that makes you African, dummy, if you don't know that. You have the African blood in you. The promised land is there. Ethiopia, that's where it's at. It's not in Jerusalem. That nasty land. Them dang on Jews. That's all I'm going to say, them nasty people. All that LGBT going over there and pedophile, y'all that craziness. But that's who they are. That's part of their religion. The Talmud. Look that up. I'm done. I am done. But you need to download TikTok if you want to see it. I'm just saying. It's really entertaining sometimes. But I'm done, family. I'm done. I just wanted to come on here for a minute. Didn't want to be on here long. Have a great day. Have a good weekend. I'll see you tonight, 8 o'clock. Peace, family.